one of the younger guys in the room. There's a lot of people that I know that have been around the block a lot more than I have and are further down the road of life. And the older I get, the more I find out that I don't know. So it's really good to be in the room with these guys. I'm a sponge more than I am a speaker in the room, but I feel like it's the wisdom that I gain every time there is well worth the price of admission. I think it really, we call it Truth at Work, but I think the conversation is so much about the Rubik's Cube of life, family, and business, and relationships, and our spiritual journey of walking with God. So while it's called Truth at Work, I would say that, yeah, has it helped me in business? Absolutely. But I've found if I can get Ashton right, that'll get the family right, that'll get the relationships right, that'll make my business right. Honestly, I didn't have many fears or concerns about it. It felt right. I felt like this was a good yes for me. And I would assume some people, the typical fears may be the financial aspect of it, the time aspect of it. But I think as business owners, this is one of those things where the ROI is hard to quantify, but you know it in your chest, you can feel it, it's there. At the same time, business owners need way more pause than they need more energy to go out and do more deals and do more stuff. So I think that it's really good once a month, 4 hours in a day, to get bird's eye view above yourself, your life, and your business. And when we leave here, we've got a lot more clarity. I think at the end of our days, we're going to look backwards, and it won't be the accolades or the awards or anything that we have on our walls that we take with us, but the relationships that we have. So for me, I feel at home with these guys. I feel comfortable. I feel safe in my own skin. And just to be in the room with guys that are in the same war that I'm in every day is really, really rewarding. The hardest part of being involved, I really think, has been coming back full circle every week and saying, hey, this is what I committed to, and this is what I did in the last month. And whether you're in Truth at Work or not, that's your battle, saying this is what I want to do, this is where I want to go, and then coming back and saying this is what I did. And so it's just great to have that accountability, to have guys, that are going to call you, guys that are going to be there asking you, did you do what you said you were going to do? Do you keep the main thing, if you will? Feel free to call around the country. Feel free to ask anyone that's in a group like this and ask them what they've gained, how it's benefited them. Test drive it a little bit, if you will. And I think they're going to find that whether they know it or not, this is probably something that all of us in leadership roles are missing is, wow, there's people like me too. I'm glad to know that there's people in the grind just like I am. And we all have a different grind, but at the end of the day, it's good to know that there's guys making tough calls, leading businesses that are doing good in the world, and so you don't feel alone. Currently, I'm running 5 companies. I speak across the country at about 24 different events each year. I run 2 real estate brokerages that are 3 hours apart from each other. I run a management company and have a personal investment portfolio. But I drive 3 hours every month to make it to this meeting. And the reason I do that is, first off, I never leave regretting that decision. Secondly, I always leave better thinking, better thoughts, and I feel like the information that I gain, even if I don't share a word, just being in the room is well worth the 4 hours there, the 3 hours to get here, and the 3 hours to drive home. So I think that if you don't have enough time, you may want to look at your life, get bird's eye view a little bit, and really see where your time is allotted, and you'd be surprised how much wandering we do out there. So our chapter president, Pat Murphy, his giftings overflow. One of his best giftings is his gift of listening, of hearing. For the years that I've known him, I've probably done more talking than I should have, but he's always listening. And in that, he has a way to decode really what I'm asking or really what I'm getting after? And I think a chapter president has to have that ability to really to read between the lines, to look under the water a little bit and say, you're asking X, but you're really asking Y. And he does that so well. His heart is a heart of gold. He comes from, his motives are so pure. And so it's really comforting to know that I have a guy like that in my corner, and a guy like that that's bringing this together every month to let us talk about truly what matters in our lives, relationships, and businesses.